I see you as a ride tomorrow. This is Skip Money. Right here on Bomber Stuff on Radio on Sirius XM.
Мы уплываем с островочка. Было хорошо, но пора домой. Афина-Сити.
He knows what he's talking about, and you will get wet. If you parked overnight in our premium parking and want to impress your
get on the grading anyway. They're doing construction up here. Do you see it?
Yeah.
It's going under the bridge right while we're driving over.
Это Lower Peninsula, нижний водопад. То есть мы пытаемся понять, как добраться до верхнего. Люди вон там купаются даже. И вон там ходят, видите, по водопаду.
Очень чистая водичка. Boats. Boats. There's the park. As long as they're on a leash.
Oh, yeah. I'm the oldest kid in my school now. One of them. Essa faca nos dentes.
Look over there, you can see the rock to the right. It's algae and the ground water.
Well, I bet you Bob Marley's mansion's got a garden in the back. Probably grown some plants, make some fine celestial hats. I'll sit on the front porch and listen to an angel band.
Это дорога на Upper Falls.
so Falls Brink viewing area this way, Falls Gorge viewing area that way.
Let's see if you come over this side there.
Это Манси. Мы приехали сюда специально за круизом на Picture Rock.
Check it out later. Go. Look at that.
Well, as I said, this is the East Channel Lighthouse. It was built back in 1867. That's just shortly after the Civil War. It's actually when a lot of the lighthouses in the area were built. Well, the last man to run this old lighthouse was a man by the name of George Pryor. He lived out here in considerable isolation with his small family. Well, I guess I do exaggerate from time to time. It was just him, his wife, and their 12 children.
Oh my God.
Exactly. All of whom were born after he started running out here.
Well, George Pryor last turned off the kerosene lamp back in 1906. That's when it was replaced by range lights in unison. And the people who own the summer homes off to the left of the lighthouse all own a part of the lighthouse and are in charge of its upkeep and maintenance. It's actually really rare to see running this time of year. That's because some beavers built a dam up on the river that feeds the falls, and it tends to dry up in the summertime. However, we have had quite a bit of rain the last couple of weeks, so it is starting to die out now. Oxidizes and leaves stains behind. It's kind of like if you have a leaky faucet with iron in your tap water, you get those orange streaks at the back of the sink. Well, the reds, browns, and oranges, of course, are from iron. Blues and greens, we'll see later on, are from copper seepage. Well, I wouldn't hold your breath. That crack formed 25 years ago, and it hasn't changed much since. However, you can see there have been plenty of cave-ins next to it. And you can normally tell the age of cave-ins by what remains in the water. Where you see a lot of large rubble with very little sand on top, it's a relatively older cave-in. But where you see large piles of sand sitting on top of the rocks, that's a relatively newer cave-in. Has a lot to do with the wave action that washes away the sand throughout the October and November season. Well, these caves we're coming up on are known as the caves of all colors, but they look more like the caves of some colors. I'm noticing a lot of blues and greens missing. When waves come crashing into these caves, they pressurize and shoot out like cannons. This archway here is known as Lover's Leap. But if you look into the mouth of Rainbow Cave, you might be able to see some splashing in the water. Almost looks like it's raining inside of Rainbow Cave. Oh, groundwater falls from the ceiling and into the lake all year long. And it creates huge, colorful icicles in the wintertime. And this next point here is another one of our more famous ones. It's known as Indian Head Rock. And you could probably already see why the local Native Americans who once canoed through here. That point out there is his nose. His chin's at water. He stands at about 180 feet high. And some people tell us it looks a lot like the Chicago Blackhawks logo. But I wouldn't know because I wouldn't waste my time watching the Chicago Blackhawks. Archway we're coming up on is known as Grand Portal. Grand Portal is the tallest rock formation along the Picture Rocks cliffs at 208 feet high. Well, this rock formation directly ahead of the boat is known as the battleship. Kind of looks like the bow of an old World War II era battleship. As I swing out into the lake, if you look off this bow, you'll see what we call Battleship Row. It looks like the sterns or back ends of several of the old-time sailing vessels all lined up in a row towards the beach. Well, right now you can see the beach. And here they come now. This is our Battleship Row. Some people of the Stanley Cup. And these next two formations are known as the Indian drums. Kind of look like elephant's feet or bear's legs. They say when a 20-foot high wave comes crashing into the mouth of this cave, it sounds a lot like thunder.
There, sir. How did you get there, sir? What's it?
Well, any of you folks do anything like this before?
Cool.
Well, that was Chapel Cove. We were in about 15 feet of water. This boat drafts about 4. Well, at the end of Chapel Beach, you can see the Chapel River. Well, that spot specifically is Lower Chapel Falls. You can follow it up to Chapel Lake, which is completely cliff-bound with rocks similar to the pictured rocks cliffs. And nutrients are from the roots that hang over to the mainland. You can kind of see them there in the shadow of the rock. Used to be a stone archway supporting those roots. Well, this here is Spray Falls. Spray Falls is the only waterfall along the pictured rocks that runs all year long. In the wintertime, it'll form an ice column all the way around it. It'll continue to run through the center. It's a favorite spot for ice climbers, though it's a bit extreme to get out here. And at that furthest point there, that's Sable Point. Well, we are going to be making our return trip back. I'll be pretty much taking the same route I did on the way here. Well, the population of Munising is right around 2,500 people. Main employer is just ahead of the boat. It's the paper company.
Oh my god.